Abusia me wade bi da makoma so nukure ni senka nyame boa me ababa wano nwum no to senka urade beka me ho na wasi ni franka awo me so a lady ni mi afi ni di me de ha wo ya de mbese me bo na ma glory no anka nyame boa me a ade da makoma so pa ye nkwala o ma start life a o mo ba no anka de meye ni se me boa o mo no ma ye adwuma wo mo adwene ne ho no imagine beyond social media, adwene beyond books. I want children one ne kasa ogina ho kata na ni 2 minutes. Asam na wo kan na ewo wutirim no nim ni nyina ba bi ebe ende. Ka me making kola omunim end no from the beginning. So that omo ya de a omo adwen de ebe ewo omo achi. Ana ewo omo anim like omo generation hu. Ye de ye de ye ni hu. Eno ene ye gitum ni yetum mirika. Ene mini udi nkombo bi ade eda makoma so ma minyanka meye. One thing I would truly love is to be able to help children think beyond books and social media. If we are controlled by what we see and read, how do we stop being manipulated? Because eniyama ye hu no eno na pia yen eno na ekire yen de ye bibia sesa se wotu wo bampofo a de obehu wo social media no timi sasa akola no ne bobre ene ni suban. If someone controls what we read, eat and see, then we are doomed cause they can control us. Se niama ye manu hu wo social media no nko ani ade a enu ti na ya na bibi hye makoma so but asempa etia ena ahwene panso so anya den enkasa anka ya setting kola no ya start chiro how to navigate wakata nani notena ho onim nipa obeto no chese ukata wani na hu ne ya approach wa wo na wo powerful enya ne wani tuye mu se na bo wani ne wani ba hu hwe biom kamema nkola na hu how to sense anything that comes close to them to extend say wo ben ni mpo na adwembo ni wo tirim akola ne be sense na wadwane subanya sebe emuade to nwura mu no eno na minya anka mekire nkwala no omo consciousness is so clean. They work, walk, live, run, sleep, eat with senses. Anka mema nkola no omo adwene no every emergency mode ho mema na free survival mode ni mu na akọ beyond dia nipa dwene na omatumi create niyama foforo ba ye de ehene akola ne primpo so obesua bibi foforo a bibi ko ho a echichire no na elimite no and then me pese yen discussing the two God minds by Maame Grace. This is time with Maame Grace. Yabusia me mankrankrebia atchen e mankrankrebia akwaba at the bad time with Maame Grace Jumedie kese so edin a meje a at the Maame Grace utumi frame me the prettiest preacher and someone e hye yakoma so ne yesuro se yebeka ne yesuro se yebehu ne yebisa ne yetimi dia ye maye eno na me no mienu yetena hanom a yedwene ho wo fa bi free me ho na wo fa bi afiri wadwene mu na wo de aboboso na wo de ayewo hu yie e de ayewo maye adwene na me ne wo fa ensenkanye aburu book ni social media so e na me ne wo ka de beye ma yetumi ahye ye ma ne ye daachi eyie sebe na dan kwa ma ye wu achi ye ma ne ntonton ye dan 20 cedis emfa nkoye de esi social media so ana de omu be read no omu hu eno e na me ne wo discuss emra ye wo mu eye mrebone sebio se wo bie social media ade ba ko na accidentally won sampo kobo bibi so na wo hwa a omo de saade ni bi nko a na bebre wo bebre nti omo ahyehye yen akodu stage a se wo ya yi wo ye mistake na won saka bibi a saade ne na wo benya na de enso wo hye no na ewura wo mu no na ewura wadwene mu na wo acti e wo saade ne so eno na me pese me no adwene ho me akwa ba biom Our ancestors were beaten and tortured to adapt Abrofo culture and feel inferior. Because of that, we also adopted it through media, propaganda, and social media. We embraced the inferior image. Nananom de omo de ehye atete ena omo de gitum because no omo ni choice. Yen ya bresu ye wo choice ana ye ni choice. E den ye de ye choice no ye de ye. Enti se bibi hye ye so ena omo ema ye bibi ne ye gitum asembre ye omo je ye mu. Yaka baby a yaka na na sebe kafra ye nkokɔ ena omo de kentanya butu ye so wache no mo yi kenten everywhere sese ye kokora no ya adwini mu no eye te se kenten ni butu ye so nti yaka fom ho sa na ya asem no akwakoye ana. But what happened when our next generation, without being forced or manipulated to feel inferior, rather naturally becomes inferior in DNA and all aspects of consciousness? Say ya nye bibia ye nananom omo aforce omo ama omo gya omo ho ato akire ena omo afa suban a enye omo suban ana omo tebea ana ye omo su ade ato omo so eye bibi na ma omo ye ni sa ena omo de ade ni wura ye nsu ye mu a ba bia ye dui se ya anya ho hwe a afedi e beduru ba bi no mu ngindi enji ntumu se ye bobre ni yesu ye bibia besesa no kusie ose obedane ahwe a ne dua etua ne to ye betimi adane bibi foforo amana ye yi odofo se wo nya ne awo ye a na wo so be ye bibi foforo a ene na wo nya obi a wonni ho because dia wo ye na wo ye wontumi ndane enye bibi foforo bi abio ye nye chameleons ye nipa dasani abusua tibia ye wo mu no se ya nhwe ne ye beduru ba bi no ye feel only inferior lo baby ebedu ni se afede bibia ye de bia no ye mpe kwa asasi kura se ye mpe ye nyina ye etu kwan ye ekọ ahanye adwene ni nie ede na ma ye hu se niama we nyina asa ye hu ye ho niama ye de ye ni hwe e wo social media so se wo pe se wo mpe even po ye nya ye nuanom ntamu no ebinum de abrabo a eni ho e de ha omo afa abrabo pa bi na ewo obi bese little beginnings ai be wi omo yie no omo de omo ani hwe na ye omo se omo ni problem bia na ni bishop bi kasa na okasa na asem bi ba abontin na oti na maka kire nse maka kire all that glitters is not good enye bibia uhu bia na obedi hu awerehwa ye osa wo de anye yi odofo ye baby nipa nanim de efe no de kire se bi mo po mo akikuro e de a kire wanka mo atade e hye omo po mo de ma osaje ya anka wo mpe ni awowo no mane nso wani na ye hu bibi ade a mepese ye hu bibi ye mma no eniam omo de omo ani hu de omo de omo asote a esesa omusu ene omo adwene ene omo ne yoye eno na nne mepese ye de to ensani ani na ye dwene ho mo akwa ababiom at the time with Maame Grace Jumedie so platform where the frame me the prettiest preacher to be frame Maame Grace me onu aba fair wo sempa kani ni wo somfo mo akwa babie mu ate odokwan so say ye mpese ye be lose ye DNA completely the only thing that will help us is consciousness na empo no consciousness no kra ye ka no wo ka consciousness kra eye den obi odi nipa ena esi nani so kane na onhu ne ho se ne yonko nipa na ogina ho na ye ono ano e ho na consciousness ahyase efiri obi ade owo bia ye okay e de ma no oni obi empo ni ayi competition ono ena wo consciousness nanso suku aye mai ekọ cars aye mai yusu phones mpo aye mai yusu in fact laptop mpo omu yusu bibia abeye competition obi apese okura de oso obi apese opa ne yonko ho enti ade ensese abofra yepo na oye ede ne betumi aye e wo saade we hu ene ye discuss the two God minds by Maame Grace adwen ben ene da yitirim adwene we yetiri me baako eye mienu eye bronsam eye nyankopon ya adwene na da yetiri me yebetumi aye hu bibi yebetumi akohwehwe nyankopon wo baabi ana ye hu ya adwene ni se ye nyankopon ne efe nkreti niama ana ye hu ya adwene se ye nyankopon ti na bibiman ebre me question ni ade a me pese me no odwene hu ni what happens if Abrofo finally succeeds in getting it right, in creating a breed of blacks who are really naturally inferior, not by lies, but by their genetics? The catcher will maybe a bit say movie be a friend Get Out. Koshe. Me ma ubi share na me try ne kwan on fa so nhwe. O hwe ne se kwan no so wi o se ne wira ho papa. Hwe obroni wa hu sabi onjimi ye na wayi millions of dollars na de aye movie o create ade bi de ato ne ba ho na ne ba ko e ho no de messages ni na e de fa enumpo obibini nye ready opo obroni a o katwi na o se okodi fufuo anu no di mirika a o kohye maybe aye dru nie. Are we doomed when that happened? Say fe ye dru baby a enye brainwash na ye hu dede ni biom na emom ye gina ho wo ba gina ho so onu no gina ho yi nanso adwen ye da ne tirimu no bibie ni ho a wo be kan ma nate eduru ye nya wie ana afa na sama mi kan ba be duru ye. Are we doomed? Akwa ye te say emfie abetwam esan say omudi niama afefa mfidie mu no ma ye mpane ahodo no ma pagya yen yakosoro no ma sese ya dwene nyina no afede atoso amomo ana because see ya me no ka sei wo ka asem bia na efo broni ho a no bibini a sebe kafra mo fancham ne tutum na anim tum a sebe o mo fancham e o po ho kra ba bi be yetum motom no gina ho no defend broni obi entan obi. But your messages way I get it through to the children, so they will know that they are not inferior. We any kasa bebrebe baby a ye bobre ni yesu aba bedui ye wie ya ba na ye question in say year 3010 the natural organic black person is no more. Now we have hybrids who don't have the same genes, DNA and frequency as all of us living today. I told the bia me read to me who. Ya na ya ye me say obi wo ho a wo hwe nanim na wo hwe nani senya na wura ne tirimu a na wo hwe niam e wo ho na ye wo say onipa we onye bibini ya frafra moja no ye di niam ahodo agu ye mu enduro ahodo mpane ahodo ye di niam agu ye mu asesa ye ndodo ye mpe ye nya ya de bium ye mpe ye nuam pa asem bium yenya ye de ye hu ato prison by creating huge walls around our houses apart from borders ye de nkraman aka ho yenya ya separate ye hu afiri abusuan nim onyankopon ma ye natural abusuan because onim se onipa bi ense se ono nko agina nti o ma ye maame ne ye papa ene ye nuanom no ma ye maame ni ye nananom no wie no sama ye abusuan no wie no sama ye akura ye fim o wie no sama ye oman o ma ye region ni nyina ehe na akosie ede na eba ye so ede na ese yetumi to ye bo na ye dwen ho ede kwa eche ye BBS san the way we think, the way we dance, everything about us is changing. That's okay. But se hum na ti ye mu no san saka ho de a ene na bibia ba wiye because the spirit in a person determines who that person is. Abusuya eya ye dwen se niama we hu. Akwasi Broni believes in evolution. He says monkeys grew to become human beings. Ojidi can be spiritual hour the other day. So from slavery, he has always been working to make the black man feel lower than he is. Ye say ye nyo bia. Ye mpo say ye tena ye kuroma ye ntumi nye yiye. saa na ya adwen aye obroni eye adwuma bia so behu se ba bia ugina na ugina ho bibi omo ye bia is for their benefit wo so obi entan obi ada never you can't blame them o this world no a survival mode into ono ahunyansa na oye bibi na wanye bibi a untumi blame no but the point I'm trying to make is yen yanka say ye den ye ho den ya hyease ya je atum se ye beda form de ye ni abutu atachem ana ye ready say ye besoso ye nsa ne ya sore waka se nipa mienu ne ye betumi aso omumu na omo sore a ya ka chom so monkonko wohoro manim na mo betwe ye wanwan ko wohoro ye nimu maye ni ye hu kwan na ye de ya sei mpo awi a yetimi aye bibi age ye ma adwen we ye wo ho eno na me pesa me nu mienu adwen ho free sambre na nipa ton eba so e de besi nne ogusua eye adwuma se de obedi atum se wo de wo ye obi che se na oni before kra binum se omo ye Jewish omo gitum se before ye more than a moa Gentiles aboa pro a emfambre wonawe we impo nipa esososo. So what happened if finally their plans work and a year comes where no original black man exists? Ya dream we hu hwe me say ya moma yenwen ahead da bia ya we chire bibia ni wa atonya yatimia escape da da bia ya wade na chi ye hu yanka ye ni sei ade bia ba ye tena ho Bible say yen sese ye tekrema ni yen fentwitwa kwan so ansa na amane abeto yen yenye hwe ni yete ho ena de ekoso a na ekoso na we keep getting worse na ye say ye dwane kwa yakoye obi paper da also to say the other prison uti kulom paper bi da also it was all of them are full of inorganic genes and DNA that don't match the original Africans baby aye kono me say wo ye spiritual person bi delve deeper ebinum ade ho ebinum say wo ukọ a ebi mu ade ba we can do more na yetumi liberate ye ho say yamfa unity any liberation and see ye ni so a what we call freedom na ye kan ye numudwa it will not work, it will not help anybody. When ya na ehame when you go to sleep, I want you to think about this carefully. What happens when the original melanin man goes extinct? Oh nyini biom na waka nti na fe ye create niama fam ye hu se ye tuntum ye hu ye nim se ye tuntum ye hwene wei omo se ye hwene nti ye nko heaven eno ya another asema ye beka ndakoro na ye hwene wei won se de omo bubu fence ne hwene na fi won ye hwene na identify yen as origin of mankind no omo bubu ne hwene no e de afiri ho ya nhwe ye na ye yankasa kra sese no ye de lipo and niama no ye hwene fillers any botox ye de ye hwene ne te so omo de ni bi Michael Jackson ye na mo ye ya no. You see, are we not doing worse than Michael Jackson? Moisha ese mo ye certificate na mo de ma no ono ani bi di kan bi e ye ne botox no mo didi na tem mo didi na tem nyina nda mo nsam mo ye anka sem choki nipa na anka ese wig ene sa ayi choki e bi no mo minim ya kasa dodo obi di kan wo ye nim ayempe ye se nipa no ade we na be ma ye nko ba bia o ma ye nko ye nim se sie ba bia ni ameko no ye be hu nipa tuntum na de ati ni mu no different something which is there. When you go to sleep, I want you to think about this carefully. Me pesa ankra bia enko ne honam no ndwen sa ade we hu ade ba ko aya me dwen pa nie me tena se nti se me hu obibini bia me hwe nani ase fi na me hwe se nti akwa we pa nti abibifo honhom na ati ni mu ena ka obet nya leadership position na wakotena na waye wi ya na ya reho. What power do Africans have to prevent themselves from taking medicines or food abrofu give them? Ade empower ena wo se wo betwa aduro ene aduane omode ma no so na wo krampa wudi banche wudi bode ene meko ene we ya twitwi no unyo bia eda anu ya na me call me forest wo na me nam ho na me hwehwe mesoa because now we had to prepare some motobi for we don't talk about those things. Yeah, nam ho na me hwehwe mesoa se wunim me ko nketen se wo ko farmers market esi wo fa ayi small bottle ne boarding den say organic pepper eno na ne yedi na yesi kire kura ye den na mesoa ene ye tede to yanum na kutuo na enyini ye no ye di na no eye de na no na ye purgative yade wo na me ko yade de body de bidi atwu se wo third eye ni si ho enye fluoride ye de atwi yesi akaka ate agu yeso chesa wo dwen ho a no bro obibini de no ne natural air ne namo sesi ye nyina air condition ne fan eno na ye se ya ye kunye ho eduro bia wo ka tro bi se ensu onom ne kra be hilina oba na ensu emu egu robem da no vision bia minya ye be ka ho asem apparently rubber nyama no wodi niama no guma na wonoma ensu obi bi egum ne wonom na edi age bi a wonom na ite say ye poison bi nketenkete wom ti wonom na ebowura wum nti kidney issues be kunye more even kola ebetie si nkola nim ti na mete wona me hwe what can be done about that wona me he na ekoka che nkrofo so ma obi enum nsu e wo rubber mu biu na sese ekura wonum nsu e de cap asa wo yekura sini na sabi o pipe na wo konom na no kura na ti sen ye condition na ye ya ayeya because so bi kura na nyame aboa na wanye sika na nani ate no se me beboa me kuromufo na omo ye adwuma na wabroche no munye sika no mbe establish company ni wa ha aye ekosisen ya nsesa ya adwene ya nsesa yesuban enkrofo no ma be fra ye mu no be dominate de bedru ba bi ne yase be hye so bi adwen asem we ameke ede be mpotin ena meye wadwen se de ode wo ko nkoasum na besi ne bibia waye bia from religion to where ohun se wo de wunyo bia no obekwa kotena dema najo ahamachi aso ade papa bi de abre wo se wo de use ni don't pay a different from we don't pay abusia eniama yen yetimi fam a ye survive no omo ntimi fam o nti adan na yen yetisei no omo no munim ne ye maye omo de beba na dia haban na ye way of life na ye bedi no ya ye ne spirituality no da sani ahye gongon eno si ho no mo enu na ye adwuma opanyimu te se wo na wafa gallon akogina wo nyonko enye wo ankatade mpo nhye bi na wahwie duregu mama na wonom instead of eating well na ye hwie sugar gun eyi bibia na de adi gugu nkwan mu enne mbaba wa aba omo ye nkwan na chenye duro entrowa onyam yanyam bi dada meko onyam yayam bi dada ti ohwiehwie niam ni gu nam no so a na odi sija so a na ayese duro na mema no su di no mo yefunu na ya tukwatuku de bi omuti ye omya ende BP ochina sei sanya de wenyina na wa bibifuo mu ana abusia mianwe ye hu ne anwe nkwa akire o he untumi blame obi ada se wankasa wantumi anwen anye bibia ama wo eniama ye betumi aye doso. When you sleep, pray and meditate for our future because we don't have saviors of the African race. Obiye ni ho dikanya odoyen ye ni nua ye ni odikanfo ye won krofo mu take instructions ye ni obi a waye ready so be wu amaye na onu poko wu amaye ye beku no mo ha no hu mpo so be wu amaye mo maye ndane ndwene sebe mi jimi di se obi a owa African spirit woni mu bia titire obi o ye Ghana ni so hu se Ghana eco situation bi mo oda onda. Because, well, way, how many are we? How many are we? Lithium can give every Ghanaian $1 million. No funds establishing lithium no way. Upon all the minerals I have, a dear important to me, yeah, I will push me so, some may can't some senya. I will push me so, young colana. Na kameni omo ebeye ya ye ho te se enkura a ye din yan akogu ba bia ye hwehwe niamam ena obroni hwehwe abibifuom the other day ya na madam for China ni bi na ya ode ayi ni besense me flowers no ode flowers bezi me office won o say Mommy Grace I said yes. Do you know we people are researching, we are making program about African people and their teeth? I said, these teeth? He said, yes. More research about your sin, or say, film. Yeah, yet, yeah, for your home. Ah, why put the friend? You knew be a wire ready so beji, why, only mobia, wire ready so beji Ghana for patch, running our comment session. Ye hype obi a oyama ono ane hone ne mba ne community pair or te credit and why. At the end of why across the African border. Apart from Kwame Nkrumah, who ni wo ho but why never boy omu ye bibia no mu de obibini abibifo abeso ahwe ye wa ha bebre ye hu nduro bebre omu de bo omu se omu de test no omu de aba Africa ewrade they plan and test their result on us. Our leaders are helpless. Our leaders, they are sleepers. They are helpless. Nobody will help a sleeping person if he refuses to wake up. Ya mobo. Ya samna ya. Na wa obenya bibia obeye no kra ho na ni mu ho na eboa ho na efiu. Wa no den. Na me kra betu me fi mi de. Abusia we niama we na say dey attention ma me sese bi asori wo ho ne ye be ya muma yen preach these things muma yen join force ne yen change sa niama we adane testers o ene nam ho se nyame bie wani ma me nka nyame ono ne enim na wuhu na wutumi enya downloads na wu obi a wutumi use with silver cord now the experience out of body experiences to create fantasies. Na wutumi nante ewie mu a na hu niam ewo mu a obehu se yete ya yedi agoro enti na me si obia o preach spirituality say ayi your friend is saying taame ewu na wo ba wo benye sika sa nipa no njai kasa yen start ne yen kan krofo betumi ebegina ho ase omokoku sei se omo African liberation is their plan and also their agenda ne yen nyina yen pia omo achi se yewu a yenwu ma yema. Can we think about this? Ajume bi ayeye bia yeye mom. School books ni ade efri. Wan kra na chese as system ni ma yen. Nti nka school ni wa nka talent ni wo. Omo manye sika wo wiase nyina o education background ye den. Time na abofra ni develop character. 15 years ni akoto na to SHS wo. Obeba na adwin na creativity na ewum no. Are you programmed? Can be biachera wo bapa until was. This is the condition. Mobo areho. There have been many programs and projects to manipulate the genes and DNA of the original Bibini. It is there. Nyamani bi wo hu a utumi kadem. Wo betena set no so na be kasa na wa ye tofo. Because we wakuma bubu. But as helpless as we are, what happens when Abrofo finally succeeds? The omo ye ni nyina yen yete kwa yen ye hwe. Omo ye niama, omo sua de ko omo achi. No nipa so sua de o apply. Artificial e de ben de bon mo ye mo nsa mo ampo na mo promote. Obi etwa picture na de we asini na osua we not. What is the mind of God? Mema we topic I never discuss it. What is the mind of God? I am not a doctor or scientist, so I may not give you solutions to how to protect your genes and DNA. What I can tell you is what we are about to discuss today. Adia metumi akenie because miskumpo brofo no kra dumbi ntimi ni bebra meka akire obadia metumi aka no eno na me ne wo che nende na me pese wo to obo na wutie. Now, in all the ways that Abrofo have succeeded in making us sleep and watch them take away our cocoa, gold, diamonds, etc. Whilst we die in poverty, they have used some techniques. They are using their principles and dogma on us, but the most effective is the God principles and our God principles. I call it the mind of God. The meaning is in the name. God, the mind of God. And when I person they me breaking it down. Na wanka sa wo dwen ho e de ko akire. Ehwe de obetumi ayaboa Ghana, ayabra aboa African continent. Afi obete mase ene me kasa bebrebe no. Na se wote achi a menye wadwen sa woni me be compete because many hwe ba be different. So when they say spirituality, I invest in spirituality. Me ba social media muhumi. I came with full chest and full vim. Me tia TV station for 5 years. Maybe social media no. Now ma prepare 5 years program. I was on Adum TV. I was on Adum FM. I was on Accra FM. I was on GH1. All these TV stations I was paying single-handedly. I devoted like $100,000 for this station. The only way I could the NDMBM. Me buy you. Me buy your papa because na minim agenda, na minim plan no. Everything I'm doing here is strictly about source and liberation of African continent. It's never a business. Because investment in is huge. Abrofuni di omu ni mniameye. Enti sa what you want to hear so business kra na me say no anasa oni me wo competition. I want you to think about these things. Pasa wo dwen ho. Abusia, we are discussing the two God minds. By me, myself, Mama G. Where the patients also call need you. What's G for general? G be a G. Go to my media G for giants. Abusia, the mind is God. Your mind is the God of your life. Why do I say this? One should be no mubu say, hey, I fed you say adwini ye nyame. Mummy ento ye bo ase boko. Ye niame mienu ne ye kan ye nkom ne yenhwe. If we are able to put our mind into these things, we are able to liberate ourselves and our continent. Love black nation enough. Love your people enough and put the business aside and focus on the continent. We can do something. We are the strongest and we are the origin of all mankind. If your children ask you, mommy or daddy, what or who is God, what do you tell them? When I say, "Yancha na Jesus abem na Muhammad abem," na akokore bi ote akonyuma na bodwo white. Ebi mu kura to me hu no, omo se na ni to say shining lizard. Oba bisa say wan na ye nyankopon a, e dey na obeka kire no, eno ne ye discuss. Please don't direct them to the Sunday school teacher for dogmatic programming. Menye biomu da. So what wo ba stop that immediately. Where ye mandatory by force. Jai sa asem na wo ka kira akola no. Jai. Tell them what you don't know, but now you do. Tell your case. God is the highest extent nature of your mind. That is what God is. Stop telling the children say, "Eyi oluma bugi, bisi suruwa numa, oshe eyi sunglasses." Ah, most mo hwe na nim kura na mabu ahwe. So how far? Where you they go? God is how your mind generates things, organizes things, and displays these things to the physical and non-physical realities. A man was talking to me and he was like, "Hey, Mommy Grace, your topics are serious. So I had to say the one will be in your BB and can. I just saw a bet tale when I'm saying, don't worry. I won't tell any day at me. I am the mother. If not, where would they go? Mother of Akabulan. I am the mother of Akabulan. Hey, a proud one. I love Africa. I love Africa. I love Ghana. I can't say maybe flashy, maybe detoxic country. There, what they are. What's your time with Maame Grace? Oh, they discussing the two God minds. And no, they discussing. Catch them kolani say, ye ka onyamia, e ye wajini na ako beyond this lower level. Na e creating yamana a download. Just like my messages are. Black American be, or she me show no America, or see membra na member chro made. O mama me a great offer. So me to me kwa many skaka crab na e de show nim. They invited me. Say come. Na me coach ro made. Omo de ombeji information. Wa wunu a wo de man free. Wa put ni to. Wa soma haban na e di video esi ni so. Ha! God is how your mind generating sabusia. So what dream generating even topics in kwa koda. How your mind organizes things. When you are well organized, you are not saturated. To say a lost goat. You sit at one place and you arrange and organize things. You are consistent. You are not lazy. You are focused. You keep moving until you get there. Kachira wobano. Say adjunino. No. God is how your mind generates things, organizes things, and displays these things to the physical and non-physical realities. Adjenia, it to me movie 4 dimensions, 3 dimensions, not the best share, just like I do to my shoes. My shoes are not ordinary. I'm telling you this. Tell your children that their mind is their God. Intina sebi okafra mufanche me obi adwene se ya odi gata maduane a odagata mu ne hu da sokra onim kasa asam no kira akola no. Everyone has different minds, but all those different minds are pieces of the same one big mind. That is God. Your mind could manifest anything good or evil. It is from the same big mind energy. Adano na me yes say you so be a soulless man near there no be bisa so what is the source? This is the source. Your mind is the source. Your mind is God. Your mind is what have a source that will ebeko na akojoin one force ni nyina ye source na but obi awo particles a special place a bibi kitinkiti obi ade ne de ye ni nyina na kaka bom e na eye the source. So when you talk about God, you are talking about the mind. Imam ejuma na mwaye mon pick topic no na mon keka ne enko yesa munya hwenka. Your mind could manifest anything good or evil. It's from the same big source energy. Sa same way yes started show no first time and Dr. Jan Papa Dr. Jan doctor no ono so preach spirituality no oba ye no ne ye be kan sa time no papa ne se bibi ani wa ye chiche muntumi nka se we yoga muntumi nka se ye spirit muntumi nka hwe ye one source eno an eba o use fridge e de example e use heater e de example the electricity example ye one source. Your mind is God. Scientifically, spiritually, that is it. Obi say scientifically, spiritually, may patre say, Maminchiro baby, when your BP go high, a yeniyama mienu de bet me say wo body ma ubewu, and now be say. Se ko higher, me cabrofo na mosre a, me dwa mo rough. Then your arteries, your arteries no, na blood ni into me famu nko, cholesterol ni betihye mu ni ne keka ho a. Eye niam mienu na be say e say na you are finished. At arteries na moja ni femu no ekwa adwene ni mu na akwa akoma nim. These two places ene nkwanete ye say enya ho no mantena na say ya you are done. Inti sa arteries no say block ya na moja na nkwa adwene ni mu a na wunya stroke. Sa nkwa akoma ni mu a na wunya heart attack. So scientifically your adwene is God. It is your adwene that will tell you to drink the medicine so for your arteries to be wadwene na beka tro say won pesa obenu medura wo sori anapa na why you chai see so do lemon no kokumba eguma no first thing na enter with tummy unum nsuo one bottle we are 30 minutes no one 20 minutes where do you break your breakfast when you are 50 years common sense will tell you what you na ye nyame no e be kan kire say wo bedidi the all your proteins we are and san how the carbohydrate no carbohydrate na mo kana mo fa brofo no so wo de ataleto wo sorry make sure say way to step 1,000 steps no matter how rich you are walk and move your bowels. Where is scientific brofo eye wadwene no na be kan kire wo sa eye wadwene na be je atum say yare abomi mewu na obewu. Your mind is God na ye wo mu mienu na no na me pese me no mienu nyina ye dwene ho. So take it like the internet. There is only one big world wide web for the whole world. Obi anim. But there are different connections, networks, routers, mobile phones, and different IP addresses, etc. All of them are manifestations of the world wide web. Enti sana adwene no akoye sana God na akoye so the source sana ubetumi example la ubetumi di ama no. So when we are saying say nipa we are saying ye different amen ka say nipa ni ye different dey and na hwan na bo omo. Oda so te sa asem da dey. We even have a dark web where they hack people's bank cards and do bad things. That can be the hell side of the internet. So that's simply the concept of God. Example no my amount between the internet niyama bebre electricity said am kan Dr. Jan and e kan mo na obi kan asema mo fa credit ne ma no papa no okan ache ye starting ye show no that time no papa no si bibie ni wa beto ni din a obeka say we ye spirit obeka say we ye say e one source obeka me the internet aye example amount eye niyama bebre esanso de ye niyama boneendre ya nam wa na me call sa one of these malls ekokoto ade a me de me credit card e share machine ni mo yi ska Sunday do ya me shop or Manchester or Mra mo Ghana ni na ye internet. So for no ye example as the mind or God na way to me at ya senti so obi dwen adwen bone is the same source obi dwen adwen papa is the same source but so people would tame their mind because medical catch so mo mutini ye nipati nti template na e wo so no e better than omo emmoa sebe eti esi omo de yeso no obi bisa question bi na question mi yi ano enye de obisa say enti se me say nipa ni ti no a esisu no ye nipa na omo a ebi de emmo esi omo ti su no de ende na indian fo bosom na abo esi ni ti su no da ben na omo stop is omo repi nipa da ben my fancy wa my mama yi asem bi ano a ebe ma me problem why I'm here to impact I'm not here to If you guide your mind and you protect your heart, you are protecting and guiding your God. Example no na me dey ama no, your mind and your heart. Atruisi no. So who did na 6 o'clock? Why are you eating fufu if you know you don't walk much? Omo work krase no so omo do fufu 10 o'clock kra eyesa because ebo anopa 6 o'clock okwa konante miles asana wedu afuom nti fufuo no odi ye no wo benefit no be ma no energy no abene e de ayenante no what air condition wo fi wo dem a na watena wo kam even garden na wo fi ho mpo wo ntele because e be kwa wo mawurem ena wo didi na wo si wo na wo di pie ena wo de drink because wo betumi ato no waka na aboso na wo hwe shoe na obi frɛ wa na wo hye no wo to wa no wayi na wo na afim e bɔkɔ anka wo hye na anapa ko se yimbre we to no be fraud ni quick now abesin na okọ oba na wabedidi na oto won se fibro taje mo yem aboso my drink kwachi papa because yanye ya drink say be yes ania me ya e bra ye be bre ne doso when you guide your mind and your heart like I told you the arteries ni ye eduma na adwene ni wo ho a enya stroke sa akoma na enya heart attack a wona our life say niam mienu yin eba wo ho a your life has come to an end so your mind is your God. I want you to understand this. Learn how to protect and guide your mind and your chain and your knowledge. Your mind directs the things you see and experience. The subconscious part of your mind is the boss. Adwene nankasa eso ebobo ho na bebia wo a part a play nti se moja no kom na neurons no omo na de maka clinical terms o eye adwuma e na obehu. Nothing in your life surprises the submind because it is all in its plans. Bibi e besi wusu dia odi betum bi e be process yo nti nothing surprises it. Before a powerful being will be manipulated to believe they are inferior and weak, there must be a mind programming. I say you programming what do you to me ma unye less said the aya less. How come? How come say who your doctor we read the book akese nyinara? How come say who your lawyer we read the books akese nyina? What to ma say bi o fache me obi a onko school awako ni bi e na echereche Bible mu e de akere na obi say bishop no say Bible no kra na agenda ye den a onim eno na me de ma was spiritual hour no. It's a program they draw to control mechanism and people. Politics, religion, ni na ye control mechanism. Ebi mu no mo ye said you mo de be set you mo free. Inti baby amako school abedu mu entumi ehu. Because the mind is being programmed. And yes, ni pe ehu yo, ni pe ehu, but adwin the way akwakoye. Hey, your problem no so. Religion and media have been great at achieving this. Because who can be actually be a and obi crazy then downloads net say what Google. Hey, who you lose but my spiritual intuitions fears that what if our future generations akwesi broni don't use any mind programming or any drug or food, but finally achieve a new and fully evolved black species whose nature in the form of their subconscious and genetic orientation is lower than all races. How? What happened? If this happened, I am my biggest fear. When I sit back and I close and shut everything here, and I decide to look into things from there. This thing I just said, it hits my heart. Na makume bo. Minsro mame ho. Minsro mame ba. Because enkrofo way, et me who slavery no. Na mububefu, no ma colonize mo. I mububefu mo kontokwa. Na sisi omo ma mind programming a year religion. Do you think it will end here? Now all our food, everything has changed. Sisi ekwa ye mpese ye wu bebre. Sisi ekwa ye mpese ye bechim sebe na ye breaki ye vagina no. We want to be cut open and remove the child. Me fear pa nie. What if they upgrade? Kodru baby a afedie omo program me obi o, but species. Ye hu omo. Okurani abotokurani okura kronkron. Ye hu omo te so omo ye the same thing, so ye the same thing. Be serious. We na mami suro. Because obi wo ho de na no ka say we the lower race obe work towards that. No wa make sure say your kind na bem. The other day me koti Elon Musk. Any Ghana web asem omo chiro say blacks have the lowest IQ. Me kan no obi kan say me na me kan manutu. Apparently Ghana web kura nya Ghana for dia. A Dutch guy be there. Pause Ghana so ye Norwegian be there. Hey! What is the meaning of campaign? All these t-shirts. Is this our condition? We are squatters. I said this and you people came after me. Are we not squatters? Because that's na manu chomo. Now, the two mind gods. These are two mental personalities that were discovered during the slavery era. That is the topic. So I want you to take your time to listen. The first God mind was discovered by Africans in oppression. The second was discovered by slave masters to keep slaves mentally weak and obedient. These two things. These two God minds. When necessary Africans, moko school, mote brofo, mo practice spirituality. You people should delve into this. If you really love your country, continent, black nation, and you want to liberate us, this is the point. The two God minds. This is the game. No bachi game ele, but it's an ona alo ole ni nefe. This is the game. This is the key of the game. This is what we don't talk about. These two God minds and no control bibia. The first one is about courage and strength in power. Now what you sorry them one ma would that for my usu so we need the radiso because we call heaven to jahano. What kind of strength and power? You are applying the first one. The Emma we are mentally weak and obedient. Ojain, maybe I do better, maybe I know to. The second is about living in fear and panic. I will explain the two. Me taking me time, but me bosso. I'm a what? So where do you belong? Do you belong to the first one or the second one? I think I belong to the first one. Or my pan crab. Cause baby I do. My yes she change. I didn't spring rules no. Now let's look at God mind 1. I explain my catro 2 no. Baby a omunya ni fear. Anyhow they operate. Now I'm coming to explain it for you and now for us to understand. The first God manifests in the mind in times of oppression. And when I will struggle to survive. And no, a natural obi ebewua or go through that God mind. It is a very intelligent and courageous spirit. It breaks the shackles of fear from the mind and puts in very passionate self-awareness. Until you get here, you are a joker. Ebimu won some more person muka. It comes with a big inner strength and the focus to conquer. It makes open the plan of the enemy and the hidden agenda of the wicked against us. This God settles in your mind so hard that it changes your personality from being a coward to being a smart and strong winner. So place me where you want to place me. With all the threats, I did form. I did campaign. It gives you plans and shows you that with honor to yourself and your race, there is no need to live. Obi kacha mzama mintu kwa biom. Ebi abitu kwa memba. Aden. Samamba mumbo mi video no. Let's push this agenda and get here. The fear is dead. A wood to the lowest level. So now you can see we are saying bibia. Wake up, okay? Wake up for yourself and wake up for your continent. Wake up for Ghana. Because if not Ghana, if not the continent, if not Akabulan, if not Black Nation, we won't do all these things we are doing. Udakra to mean that with all this mineral, we are sleeping in light of Ebe. Na senye then. How do you explain this? This God doesn't negotiate with the enemy. No. This God teaches you smart ways to beat and destroy your oppression. How many are clicking? Any part do was an idea wait to your mumu. Me boss is at you more. A best start to say shake you up. A best start to say heat you up. Aya what you say? The entia a be before kwala abebre. Obi we school no what vision po wonani so a mobilization no way. So maame yo hia ni na what talent I just said nyamia be mu na mo kan. It is a warrior spirit. It is an intelligent spirit. It is one of the most powerful deities of ancient Africa. Our mind, how we think, how we act, how we move, how we eat, how we talk. We put souls first. That is African spirit. What kind of God dwelling inside of you? Which God mind is working inside of you? From parliament to where? Sadie way, they are able to come up. Come in Kroma Yebidawo. Oba bonchen obeka wo twimu. Saying I'm not able to say these things here. That man was living for the country and he sold his life for the continent. Who is doing the same thing? Spirituality is principle, so It's principles. Who is working on Kwame Nkrumah's principle? Who? The leaders, the politicians, who? We just want to know. It's a question. Come and tell us if you think you are the one. When we talk about ancient gods and deities, it is the mind, how our people were thinking, how they built the pyramids, how they put things together, how they made ornaments with gold, how they were writing things, how they were using signs and symbols. That is the greatest deity, the mind of our ancestors. And I won't man punch enjoy life. Says, so allow me, make I enjoy life. Trouble in tumbo. Munjaim punching no mondium. The day Akabulans lost that spirit, they became slaves. Makatro pain. Senka blacks. Komu bechi omu tamana omu jino omu nanso ankebeye war. They came for them when their back was broken. Enumpono omu buy omu di CV omu di great proposal na buy. I don't want to mention the name of the spirit because it is now being used to protect langars, armed robbers, and area champions. And kamebo say to na da kumebo. Da kurumeka. Me o baby amedui. Da kumeka ni say to. Na mujiji sa nduro nkitenkete no. Na mo di ye niama. Momfa na momfa nye bibi papa. They go and take these spirits and use them to terrorize area Gangaliers. Oh, onam ho, o ya metu tukpe. Na wona ye o de ato no obi ewu. Alaji, you so rest in peace. What? My neighbor, my next door neighbor is Lebanese. Nti our security man bi wo fie ho. Omo friend Baba Alaji. Enye me no ye mi security. Me dey mini security man komenam. Na papa ne pema asem. Mi security eye me dog. E friend Bruno. Ono no beda gate ano age ma ba fie. Ansana kraman no asori akone dem. Na baba e na do me enough. Se me mba ye na metu kwan a obehwe me kraman na ma me. Otena gate na no. Lebanese ni gate no ene me na share wall. Ti de akonwa ni si wall na me dogu sei. Na watena so wo ho. Atwen me akopim se meba because me nkofie ntame ya na joge. Ena obi besi ni dan e wo area ni mu. Ena obehu ba ode ni cement ni kogu obi fie. Akwa kwinse ni bi. Me pese mebo ni din. Otumi bosa na ne ho apa na oda abonten. Ena ode ni cement no ono ti obi asase so no wabobo kiosese so ohwe ho ma no. Na papa na obesi ni dan no. Ede ni cement ni kogu ni fie. Na ode cement ni kogu ni fie no de bia papa ne beba na cement ni bia yira. Ena papa ni behu baba. Se baba, e pese me de cement no ebegu ho. Ena Lebanese ni fie ho. Na baba so onim hwe. Ti oje cement no no di go me ma story we. Na mama wehu how we misuse power as black people. Ukumobi no wenyane ochina e de na benefit country no. Is that the point? Ne kura ne sen. Ena obehu baba no de ne cement ni begu baba fie ho. O si dan ni biom no ena konwinsani na o ton papa ne cement no ko baba no ka kire baba se wo papa ne de ne cement abegu mu ho na wakokeka nsam a kire papa no na papa na besisa ne cement no de abegu ho baba se me nka ahwe o se wo so wa ma papa na amfa cement na amba ambegu mi ho biom ade ameyo ono so si inshallah untumi nya me hwe ade echi anapa me pese me bo na ega ni din abasema mi ke obi a o te kom 22 bi ani adechi anapa no call no frɛ baba o se baba wo se mi ntumi nya ohwe konwinsani no sa konwinsani na ni ndwan be me flowers na me frɛ na me ka kire no o se wo maami we di obi a no se wo ye ni papa mi pese me du benya problem wo hu sa ponche no wo wi wo flower no ka kire ni se mo mba wi biom akwa we o call no frɛ baba na baba pie no se wo se mi ntumi nya ohwe no di nsuo o de ade no pencil se chalk o de sign form ho no di nsuo no gu ho o ka kire baba se so wo se mimi ntumi nya ohwe a o pa abade we tira baba so de ne nan inshallah no de ne nan bubom to me wo office koduru fie a wo mo se baba ntumi nkasa 2 days baba we sharp wa amfa power na nsa ne ho nsa na onom no okun baba to twene ye enye video enye movie o life story my own house me ne da banis ni fie ni na me fie when ye kojije sa de ane ye de ye. Is this spirituality? If we want to liberate Africa, we have to put all those things aside and start using the God mind. The one our ancient fathers, our ancestors, if there is any deity one need to trigger, it is that mind. It is in you as a black nation. It's not about tupe. Now we chase the obeya ubenya car, the obeya ukununja, obeja. Into omo use spirit way e de yes e wudi sem nyina ma omo nua nkradokon aye tonkro obi agieduru gweyi. Meanwhile they stand there and abrofo carry their cocoa and lithium and gold and they watch like jokers. On to me use fa anya hweda no hu obro ni kwa wakoto. Then you go and take juju to rob your fellow African who is struggling. Someone buys one plot and you go and take juju to do land guard and guy and kill him. That God mind. Yes, say no. The purpose of some of these spirits is to empower our men to protect us from slave masters and neo-colonialism. This is what we are supposed to use this power deity that is in our head for. But we rather want to hate each other. Obi ya de kakra na ye na mo ho keka omo. Emfa ho ne mfa so a wenya. Gossip and lies. Unti obi na so answer waba after you. Ehini ye beko. Hu ba bia ye wie ye na ekọ. Ah? So obi asini da na odam. Na air conditions in so na secure se twa ne ho ahia na nkrofo de da kiosk ni mu a enkyere se wo ho atowo ah so wo yo sikani a wo ma e na kyere se wo yo sikani so wo ye sikani ama area ni mu fa ho nyina na change ho so bi aye sa ye nyina ye be change enye se ye nyina na ye be ye yi o ba ye nyina ye betumi enya 3 square meal adi na yada eno na kyere se adwene na ye ancient forefathers omu use that date you know is triggered and it is working in us. Now let's look at mind God number 2. The second mind God was discovered from fear and panic during slavery. A theory of torture was brought forth by one slave owner, William Lynch. Or no? And or did that mind God, second one yami became, or the buy, or the fear, and the shame nipem. So when ye shia, we you know. So when you suma, we hang. 2 things. What are you? This man was reported to have done a whole theory on how slaves must be beaten to near death so that they will be weak and fragile. Ajinina. Same source. Which one are you operating? Akwa we am bo ni din Lynch. O yusu sa ehunehune yi. Editi ebu nkania mo ye no me se mekeka nka mekeka ba mo na mbekwa akokama YouTube aba me so o yusu sanyama we di temi wild women anka me se ametie ko ba be chime opa omra onya ni mfiri nadaka mu obeba na mete asem amu ba amagye mwani so ebua mo anye mwani so hey Ghanaians are serious some I mean, some Ghanaians, a bit do I know, a bit would do anything to revive the country, but a bit no so. A bay on one, obedient your sister, one, say one. Or they torture young women, any men, wild ones, now, or more yeno, no developers are there, my yes, episodes, or why dear be that dear be, or the share or pin for near ma, or the one need any panim. Or the shemwa na wan wan say na bie ne mumi ne na atete ne yemu ne ba no na wo gina ho na wo hwe we a ade obeka bia obeye obetena sidin kwan ode omu fast sa akwa na mbo ndin. So because of that Africans started believing in their minds that they had to make Abrofo happy so that when Abrofo is happy, they won't torture and kill them. We never lucky and pa. Nti ade mienu we na operate baby wo gina sese ehe na obe shate ehe na obe raise bisaw. This behavior developed into a mind spirit till today. Black people in abroad know that Abrofo will treat them badly and even use the law to punish them. So what they do is sacrifice their happiness and freedom to make sure that all Abrofo they come in contact with are happy. Ye be ye adwuma ni nyina. Credit no nya. No cry ye ba ko pa na be kamo na moto. Ya tena ho ne ya bre ne ya be pe ye ba bi ya tena dwen. In short, if this spirit comes into you, you don't consider yourself first. Adanu me catch them lady be me say, hey, Maame baby a wedu no. Se see put you first in everything. This is one thing a man who in life. Me ye adwuma chen bibia na me de abusua di kan enamfofo omo be me na me de me ho ato akire. When I gain my consciousness, and me who say me didi me a na matibia ma obi wotena plane ma omo si plane ni ko nya accident a protect wo ho ansa we protect you obi ye won krofo bi wo ho a ono ankasa oto aduane adi mpa na ye ne ya ode be ma obi wu anasa. You own yourself before you have any other thing. You own yourself before you have your wife, your husband, your mother, your sister, your siblings. If you die, you are finished. To aduane di na ja sa wusi dan ma wo mba no omu be yini kura baby a wo dan nisi no omu mpe baby ameme dan nisi mpo mi me so omu mpe na wo di awusi no wo ayi it was so. In short, if this spirit comes into you, you don't consider yourself first. You consider the happiness of Abrofo around you. It could be at work, in school, or your community. Ekromu ha yetrimi wo wane ye de ko school mu si ye ntwitwa bobro ni trimi wa no de ko school no this school dem. That's the level. Ede na menka biom wo dad dwen ade we hu na bompae mayen why bompae mayen nyina wa wo practice spirituality. This is the real deal. Adwuma no ankasa wano ne ye say ye pasa ye hu nto ya ade say ye de ya adwene ba sa asem we so anya sa de ya ye ba ye dede sa ye didi ya me ya da ye te woda ko on be spray ye nyina ye ba wo te say mosquito. Once you smile and don't become a threat to Abrofo, then you know they won't attack you with their police and law. Me I have great friends. All the schools, no spiritual schools na me kon. But me ko na omo tena omo ye 50. Me nko abonsa me tena nchen ho kona ho. Ai, me ni wonyepe. Ntumi so ne wonyepe. Mentan wo de mum ba me hu me ho omo so ade omo chia ne se wo ne omo nam na wate wo mu chi kura omo nim ne ewo utirim omo nim se bibifo hu e anka ye yi adwen boni firi ye mu anka nkrofo we ye tia omo once omo beda na wo ni obi kotena ho na mo ye dem mo ko ye demonstration wo mo boss wa agipe ya wo behwe na na ba ko fa akire wa ko boss na mane chicken pox aye ye se etwum. We've become cockroaches. Hey, these two spirits are the mind gods of the black nation today. The ones that want to stop the oppression and the ones that see it like they have to make sure they serve and behave well to Obroni and heaven. Which one are you? Oh? Which one are you? If you are in abroad and you are seeing the oppression of your people, what do you tell your children? Abusia ni awo kom no opasa wo manu so be kom saa. Be honest, edan a wasie si Ghana ene edan a wutimu abrochiri wo manu omo beba so omo betena ha wo manu omo beba so omo betena ha na mebisa wo. What mind God are you building in your children or in your child? Ade na wo de hya wo ba ne tirim ade mienu ne maka kire ofri ne ade a wo de hya wo ba ne tirim say ye fear de na tutu. Don't force any of your children to go to church. Fear. One kwa won't call heaven to banana dwen no aka hye pia hye tokurum wo ye adwuma ma lynch wo to aso ama no. What mind God are you building in your child or children? Should they serve their masters at the expense of their pride and happiness? Should they? Is that what you are telling your children? Be obedient, be this, be that, be submissive, be this. Is that what you want your child to become? Oh yeah, dear cry na usuru. Na den baby ayen ayetimpo ya say ho. Baby a be before no tin na be before no omo aye enlightened, they don't want to mess up with them. Your futu mu chaka. Ukoka osi ni buofu. The life I lead you Ghana a big go. Abusia, me de wo ba wie ye no. Ade ba akopɛ na me di gya wo. Se wo mpɛ wo ma no omoton wo omo happiness ne omo pride. Ede ma dia o press wo no a. Ede na wo pɛ. Or they must be courageous and take no nonsense from the oppressors. Which one do you want? God mind 1 or God mind 2? Where do you belong? Where you belong is where your children belong. What is running through your DNA? Is that same thing running through your children? Abroche na wote aduane ba na ade ma umedi. Sika wenya a wote Ghana ha, ade aduane na umedi. Treatment be na ade ma feche. All sort of drinks, all sort of sugar. Papa your pineal gland no. No mo me adwuma na ye ne nyedin. Spiritual people. Hello. What's up? Ade na eko. Unto aso sa why? Na mo ka kanche nkrofo say dey eat ni titi gbiem. Ade esi nipa adwenim. Ah wo na use ye. That same deity is there. Ugina ho. Ugita na njueti. Mind you, Akwasi Broni knows all these mind gods. They use it against us always. Omu use we and then we also start using it, my crowd.